People whispered about him everywhere. A billionaire CEO, known for his cold heart and sharper tongue, who built an empire with ruthless precision. But no one expected what happened one stormy night when, in front of a crowd, he demanded, "Marry me, or I'll find someone else." What came after would silence every critic, shock every onlooker, and change the way people remembered his name forever. Ethan Kross was one of those men who didn't hear no. He had the kind of power that could buy silence, loyalty, and even love, or so he thought. The business world admired him, yet whispered behind his back about his arrogance. He was wealthy beyond imagination, but empty inside. What no one saw was how much he feared being alone, how much the walls of his glass mansion felt like a prison each night. Then came Claire. She wasn't a model, a socialite, or a woman from his glittering world. She was quiet, kind, and worked as an event planner who had once saved one of his galas from collapse. Ethan had noticed her calm under pressure, her laughter that rang differently from the shallow voices he was used to, and the way she treated everyone, from waiters to guards, with the same respect. For the first time in years, he felt curious, alive. But Ethan was a man who didn't know how to love gently. His heart had been hardened by betrayal long ago, and so when he finally admitted he wanted Claire, it came out not as a confession, but a demand. At a grand party, with champagne glasses clinking and hundreds of eyes watching, he cornered her. "Claire," he said, his voice carrying across the hall, "marry me. Or I'll find someone else." The room froze. Whispers rippled through the crowd like a wave. Some gasped in excitement. What woman wouldn't want to marry a billionaire? Others shook their heads at his arrogance. But Claire, she stood still, her soft eyes fixed on him, not with awe, but with disappointment. The silence stretched, heavy and suffocating, until she finally spoke. "Ethan," she said gently but firmly, "love isn't an ultimatum. It's a gift." The crowd held its breath. No one had ever spoken to him like that. Ethan's jaw tightened, his ego fighting to hold its ground, but his chest burned with something else, a fear he didn't understand. Claire left that night, her heels clicking on the marble floor, leaving Ethan stunned. For days, he replayed the moment, her words haunting him. She hadn't begged, hadn't been tempted by wealth. She had simply walked away, and for the first time in his life, he realized money couldn't buy what his heart truly wanted. Ethan tried to distract himself with business, but nothing worked. His empire felt hollow. The world saw a powerful CEO, but inside, he felt like a child again, lonely, desperate, misunderstood. Finally, he swallowed his pride and sought her out. He found Claire not at some lavish party but at a community center, helping children paint murals on cracked walls. Watching her smile as she crouched down to tie a little girl's shoelace, something inside him broke. He had been chasing the wrong kind of love all his life. "Claire," he said softly, and when she looked up, the children giggled, whispering about the fancy man in a suit. "I don't want someone else," Ethan confessed, his voice shaking. "I only want you, not as a possession, not as a trophy. Just you. But I don't know how to love the right way. Teach me, if you can." Claire studied him, searching his face for sincerity. For the first time, his eyes didn't burn with arrogance but with vulnerability. Slowly, she smiled. "Ethan," she said, "love begins when you stop trying to control it. Start with kindness. Start with listening." And so began a journey no one had expected. Ethan learned to slow down, to cook simple meals instead of reserving five-star chefs, to walk through the park instead of rushing past life in a limousine. He laughed, truly laughed, for the first time in years, and Claire saw the boy hidden beneath the hardened man. Months later, Ethan didn't propose at a glittering party or with cameras flashing. Instead, he knelt in the small garden behind the community center, surrounded by children's laughter and painted murals, holding a simple ring. "Claire," he whispered, "this time, it's not a demand. It's a hope. Will you marry me?" Tears filled her eyes, and this time, her answer was yes. The world was stunned when the news broke. The billionaire CEO had found love, not with a supermodel or heiress, but with a woman who taught him humility and compassion. And those who once mocked him saw a man transformed, not by power, but by love. And the message remained clear. Love isn't a transaction, a demand, or an ultimatum. It's the one thing money cannot buy, and the only thing powerful enough to change even the hardest of hearts.